if the speed of x meters per second is equivalent to the speed of y kilometers per hour, what is y in terms of x? So we need to translate our information here, get an equation with both an x and a y in it, and then we need to rearrange that equation so that we get y by itself. Now, how do we make this translation? So before we talk about that, let's talk about what we shouldn't do. And so the obvious trap they're trying to get you to fall for is just to get you to say, okay, so translate this literally by saying x meters per second or per 1 second is equal to y kilometers per 1 hour. And then from here, we can cross multiply to get y in terms of x. That definitely will not work. And I don't think they even included that as an answer choice here. So don't fall for this. And so the reason this would not work is because our units do not match. These units have conversion values that we have to obey. And so if we want to compare our x and y, probably the easiest way to do that is to get everything in terms of the same unit. And so how should we convert our units? And so what I like to do, I'm trying to get everything into the same units, and then I have to decide, well, which one should I get them in terms of? I like putting things in terms of the smaller unit. So if I have a choice between hours and minutes, I prefer putting things in terms of minutes. And if I have a choice between minutes and seconds, I prefer putting things in terms of seconds. And the reason for that is because if you're using the smaller unit, or if you're converting to the smaller unit, you are usually multiplying instead of dividing. And I find multiplication is just easier to work with. And so here we got meters, seconds, kilometers, and hours. And so if I want the smallest of our units, so in meters versus kilometers, I want meters. And if I want hours versus seconds, I want seconds. And so we can now say, so x meters per second. So here our x is already in terms of the units we want. So x meters per 1 second is equivalent. So now we need to get to y also in terms of meters per second. So y kilometers per 1 hour. So how many meters should y kilometers be? So to go from kilometers to meters, you have to multiply by 1,000. So this should be 1,000 y meters. And how many seconds are in an hour? So to go from hours to minutes, there's 60 minutes in an hour, and then there's 60 seconds in a minute. So we got to multiply by 60 twice here, and that gets us 3,600 seconds. So 1,000 y meters per 1 hour per 3,600 seconds. And then let's simplify this. So 2 zeros cross out. We're just left with 10 over 36. And we can divide each of those by 2. So it should be 5y over 18. So 5y meters per 18 seconds. So here, now we can set that as the right side to our equation. So x meters per second is equal to 5y meters per 18 seconds. And now we can cross multiply because our units will all cancel out. And so we get 18x. So I'll do that down here. We cross multiply 18x is equal to 5y. And we got to get y in terms of x. So 18x over 5 is equal to y. And that makes C our answer.